I just knew. I just knew we were bound to get the Thragg video here. The trial of Thragg, Viltrums' final boss, in which he is, aka Freddie Mercury, aka, Space Freddie Mercury. That's the best way I could put it. But yeah, once the new season came out, we finally got the introduction of Thragg, because man, oh man, was that man a monster in the comics. I mean, he killed Battle Beast, that should tell you everything right there. Their fight lasted, 2 weeks, if I remember correctly. So yeah, this was about to happen when we got the introduction. Not to mention, we are not even yet into the full story of Invincible with Thragg, so there's more to it. But I am happy that CJ's making a trial of Thragg, even though we're not even close to done with him. I mean, to be fair, same was Conquest before he got killed, but just saying. I mean, once he did the Conquest video, I was like, oh, you think he's crazy? Just wait until we get the Thragg. I even said in that last video, in that Thragg video too, not Thragg, in that Conquest video when it happened, it's like, you think he's crazy? Wait until we get the Thragg. And I called it. We're getting the Thragg trial. So yeah, can't wait to see what he has in store for us here. The only thing the downside is it's only 20 minutes, which is the big sad part. But we're only getting to the story of Thragg, so we're about to see more. But who knows how long it will take for us to get through the rest of the Invincible story in the show. But hey, what can you do? All we can do is wait. But I'm gonna get shut up now and get to reacting.
Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thragg guy? No way he lives up to the hype.
A few moments later.
I got this!
Your life literally is as valuable as a summer ant. Your life is not...
You're already doing the LTG dialogue. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you.
You serve zero purpose. Because what are you here for? To worship me? Kill you.
Yeah. Oliver learned the hard way once again.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know what time it is. Court is now in session because it's time for a trial. And it is for none other than the crispiest Viltrumite in the galaxy. Viltrum's final boss, Grand Regent Thragg. So, you already know how this works. We got the evidence and it is ready to be presented. And my God, I gotta say this is some of the most damning evidence a character has ever had. So, without further ado, Exhibit A.
Like I said,
alright, let's get down to business. Exhibit A, Thragg's rise to power and his multiple atrocities. Now we actually got a glimpse of Thragg's backstory right here. And just from this backstory alone, you could already tell that Thragg was a crazy ass nigga because this man is responsible for multiple horrible atrocities. So let's start off with example 1. This one planet was trying to start a rebellion because they were fed up with the Viltrumites' rule. So they decided to blow some shit up and retaliate. So the Viltrumite higher ups, or Argall's council, whatever the hell you want to call them, had a meeting to discuss of what they should do about this rebellion. Now Krieg and Thetis were basically arguing the whole time because Krieg straight up proposed that they should just decimate the whole planet to show the strength of the Viltrum Empire and strike fear into the species that was trying to rebel. But Thetis, on the other hand, proposed that they shouldn't decimate their planet because the Viltrumite rule over this species was cruel and inhumane. And he thought that
Thetis
since
was
this
the only voice of
species
reason.
showed some type of pushback against their oppressors, that it was an act of strength and Viltrum should respect it because their main core value was strength. Now while they kept yapping, Argall decided to shut both of them up. Then he asked Thragg, "Young nigga Thragg, my crispy apprentice, what do you think we should do about this minor inconvenience?" And Thragg straight up said that these creatures were so weak that their weakness was an offense to the natural order of the universe, and we should educate them on why they're so ass. And after hearing Thragg's rant, Argall was like, "Now that is why you are my right-hand man. Tax them niggas 25% of their population." This man Thragg is responsible for this race losing 25% of their population. A quarter of these niggas was wiped off the map because Thragg thought they was weak as hell. Now, let's move into example 2. His first day as Emperor. Now, after Argall got assassinated and took a big-ass shake to the skull from Optimus Prime, they had a massive funeral for this man.
I forgot it was Thetis who did that. Huh. Yeah. But nice reference there, CJ.
and it was
Being Peter Cullen.
broadcasted across
Peter Cullen being the voice of Thetis.
the entire planet. So after Thragg was done giving the eulogy, he does what is quite possibly one of the craziest things a leader could ever do. He said that there is a sickness in our society and it needs to be cut out. So he points at this melanated brother behind him and asks him, "You, do I look fresh today?"
I like your cut, G.
I don't believe you.
Damn!
He decapitated this brother for
Damn.
no reason at all. He chopped his head clean off to make an example out of him. So after he
Ouch.
just murdered this dude in front of everyone, this man gets on the mic and says, "As my first command as Grand Regent, I, Thragg, hereby officially announce the first ever Viltrum Culling Games. Seek out every single sorry-ass nigga in our population and eradicate them. Purge every weak nigga from our population." So after Thragg gave this speech, all hell just broke loose across the entire planet, and the Great Purge began. Viltrumites just started killing each other off one by one, so they could weed out every person they considered weak. And it wasn't just the adults doing it too. It was the kids as
too.
well. Look at them jumping this little nigga. Bro got jumped by 3 other kids that got stomped out to death. This was just straight up horrific. And I'ma keep it up, B. This had to be one of the worst ways to ever find out who was weak or not. Because what this was a battle royale. Anything could happen. You could literally get cheap kills off of niggas for third-partying another 1v1. They could be 10 times better than you. But you could literally wait until their 1v1 was over and they were at half HP. And just come behind them and sneak their ass. Like, this shit is stupid. And God forbid a nigga ran into a motherfucker like Conquest. Because that was just instant death. It didn't matter how strong you were if you ran into that nigga. That is just straight up bad RNG. And at the end of this purge that Thragg started, it led to half of their population getting wiped out. Billions of Viltrumites died because of this purge. And those billions of
Social
bodies
Darwinism
are on
at its
Thragg's
finest.
because he literally commanded them to do this. And now we're at our third major atrocity. And that was his invasion on Telescria. This nigga pulled up in a big-ass Star Destroyer and started burning this city to the ground and destroying everything. Millions of innocent people were getting boomed and vaporized while this man was just sitting in his ship and looking down on all this death and destruction. And there is a high probability that this man would have probably just scorched the whole planet if Mark and friends didn't destroy his ship and make him tweak out about losing Argol's skull. But I think that we can all agree after looking at these 3 atrocities that this man Thragg is just a straight up space tyrant, because there is nothing more that this nigga loved to do than conquer civilizations and spread bloodshed wherever he went.
There's Exhibit A. Let's look at the numbers here. Mass murder. Well, 25%, killing 25% of a population. Murder. Killing a random black man. Imagine hearing that one without context. Mass murder. Started a purge to wipe out half of his race. Again, social Darwinism. And more mass murder. Invading Telescria, killing millions. A lot of Alan's people died that day.
Exhibit B.
Exhibit B.
Alright. Exhibit B. Putting the fraud allegations to rest. Man, oh man.
That one he was good at doing.
People that were calling Thragg a fraud before episode 7 was just...
Y'all could not have been more wrong. Y'all could have not been more wrong about that one. My God.
Flat out insane. Like, we're now in a era where if a new character ain't doing some shit like ore farming or putting belt to ass to niggas in the first 5 minutes of their screen time, they're putting them on fraud watch. People were actually calling him a fraud before he even threw his first punch. Now, if you were a part of the crowd that was calling Thragg a fraud before all this happened,
not, because I know what happened in the comics.
You signed this document in
Grand Regent Thragg apology. Reason for behavior. The media convinced me it was bad casting. Only looked at it his jawline. I was not aware of his true power. I didn't read the actual comics. I know about what happened in the actual comics, so that's how I know. The betrayer convinced me he was weak. I was jealous of the Viltrum Empire. I'm sorry for my behavior, and I will hereby respect the Grand Regent Thragg. Oh, man. Oh, what the?
was calling Thragg a fraud before all this
That's what I'm
happened, all is forgiven. As long as you sign this document and turn it in by the end of the trial. Now,
Yeah.
everyone should have known Thragg was all about that action the moment the coalition pulled up to Viltrum. Because they pulled up searching for this man just for him to meet them at the front door. Bro said, you ain't even gotta search for me, gang. I'm right here and I'm ready to throw down. So Thula comes from behind and sneaks Status in the back. And all the other Viltrumites end up surrounding them. Because Thragg set up an ambush because he knew they were gonna try to track him down and kill him on Viltrum. So he sinks his minions to start jumping the coalition, while he just straight up sat back and watched them fight the whole time. This dude didn't even bother to move from the spot he was in till Space Racer shot his Infinity Ray at him. And all he did was move back a couple of inches. This man didn't give a flying f about a laser that would one-shot him. He just straight up had the confidence to know that that shit wasn't hitting him. So the first person to actually try to fight him was Omni-Man. So Nolan flew in and tried to hit him.
And for good reason.
The first person to actually try to fight him was Omni-Man. So Nolan flew in and tried to hit him. But all Thragg did was move back a couple of inches again and make Nolan hit straight air. Then Thragg flew above him and winded up a punch from the heavens. And if you take a look at Nolan's face right here, you can tell that he is clearly thinking,
damn. He really about to rock my shit.
Yep. Damn. One hit.
Thragg punched this nigga Nolan so hard he turned into a living, breathing meteor and made him crash all the way down on the surface of Viltrum. So after Thragg hit Nolan with a stage change, Thragg came down and tried to hit Nolan with some good old talk no jutsu. He was telling him, Nolan, big dog, come home. Why are you fighting for these sorry-ass, weak-ass niggas? Status' sorry-ass killed our emperor and brought us to damn near extinction, and you wanna align with that Autobots roll out sounding ass nigga? But Nolan tried to tell Thragg that he was a changed man now, and he was done sipping from that Viltrum Kool-Aid to be a brainwashed space tyrant. So after Nolan tried to get Thragg to stop and surrender, Thragg looked at Nolan dead in the face and said, oh, Nolan. How far you fallen. Looks like that Earth Coochie really made you a soft-ass nigga. So Thragg winds up a punch that was so strong it created a vortex. And he hits Nolan with a Shoryuken from hell that sent Nolan flying all the way back up into the stratosphere. So after Nolan got sent back to outer space, the next person that tried to step up was everyone's favorite useless purple punching bag. Now before we observe what happens to this half-insect buffoon, I want y'all to hear exactly what Oliver says 20 minutes before this fight starts.
Right. Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thragg guy? No way he lives up to the hype.
Now, as we can see, Oliver is basically representing everybody that put Thragg on Fraud Watch. He himself was not believing in all the hype, even after his dad straight up told him, however strong you think you are, Thragg is stronger. But Oliver, being a hard-headed ass nigga and not listening to any of the warnings about Thragg, ended up being on the receiving end of one of the most brutal scenes in the series. Oliver flew in and
as we just saw at the beginning
Thragg
of the
stops him with one hand. Then he crushes Oliver's hand and grabs him by the arm when he tried to get away. And you can see it in Oliver's face when he finally realized that he fucked up and he should have listened to his pops the whole time. But it was all too late for him. Thragg backhands Oliver so hard his jaw falls off and his left arm got snatched.
Big ouch.
Attempted murder attack on the child abuse. This nigga Oliver is the most useless person on this squad. He was a waste of space. And I already know some of y'all gonna be like, but CJ, what about Tech Jacket? You see, at least Tech Jacket knows her role. Sit in the back line, shoot your Viltrumite debuff darts at him, and get your assist. She's being a good support character. Oliver, on the other hand, is that one brain-dead DPS on your team that goes into a fight alone, dies, and asks where the team was at as he's feeding the other team. This nigga is just straight up
That's a good way of putting
this
it.
little nigga was talking crazy as hell, all for him to get his jaw broken off and not being able to talk again for the foreseeable future. Fucking trash can, bro. So after Oliver got humbled by
I owe you. Wait, let's read this. I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your. After getting curve stopped by Thragg.
Mark tried to rush in on Thragg with a rage boost, all for Thragg to flash him with one of the craziest impact frames of all time. Damn. Stopping his punch
where that came
with
from.
his hairline. Then after he showed Mark his fresh lineup that he got right before this battle, he gives him a left and a mean-ass gut check. Then grabs him by the neck
nonchalantly
and
too.
him out of Viltrum's orbit. Look at the impact frame of this man
Look at
getting the
that.
shit slapped out of him. He slapped the taste out this nigga's mouth and made his whole head do
Ouch.
a 180 before his whole body got put in reverse.
Big
Not gonna lie, gang,
ouch.
just for this, I'm giving him an extra attempted murder because this
And that was
slap
really
was
disrespectful,
uncalled
too.
for, bruh. So damn disrespectful. Then after
Are
he
you
pimp
right?
slapped Mark, he flew up to my glorious King Battle Beast,
Battle Beast.
rocked him in his jaw, then grabbed his jetpack.
And Battle Beast was a
threw him
beast
to
too.
a whole
No
other
puns
solar
intended.
system because we don't.
Mind you, remember earlier in season 1, don't forget what Battle Beast did to all the superheroes, including Mark. And look what what Thragg just did to him. And this is why their fight lasted 2 weeks in the comics, which I hope we will later see when we reach the end of the series.
Don't see him again for the rest of the fight. Just for doing that
Right.
to my goat, that's attempted murder. Cause throwing Battle Beast like a toy into deep space is actually insane. So since everyone was
Right.
getting dog walked
Seeing
by
what Battle
Thragg,
Beast has
they
done.
decided the best thing to do was to just destroy the whole planet. So Space Racer shot his Infinity Ray at the planet, and Mark, Nolan, and Thetis fly into the planet's core and blow it up.
Boom! Just like that!
So after these three blew up the planet, this sent Thragg over the
Oh,
edge.
he was
This
super
man looked
pissed.
directly at Thetis, locked onto his target like he was a heat-seeking missile, and ripped Thetis' head clean off of his
Damn.
shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, that was just straight up murder. Thetis
Yeah.
didn't even get a chance to react. All he saw in his last moments was Thragg's crispy-ass hairline, blitzing him at Mach speed. Then he displayed his head to everyone, then crushed it into mush while telling everyone they're next. So after he sent Optimus Prime back to the Bayverse, he grabs Nolan with no hesitation and just starts to lay the smackdown on this nigga. While Nolan couldn't do anything, he couldn't fight back at all. Thragg then low-key started hitting Nolan with the Superman Injustice 2 super move, just yo-yoing his body with punches.
really?
Then Mark came in and tried to help out, but he gets punched in the throat and he can't breathe anymore. So Nolan tried to attack, but he gets his wrist shattered. Then when Mark saw Thragg flying towards him, his fight or flight senses kicked in. Cause Mark hit the jets and just tried to skedaddle, but Thragg
You can't
was
blame
chasing
him.
and he was on his ass. Look at the expression on Mark's face right here. This is the face of a man who is terrified and is running from death itself. So
Look at the face of Mark, but dog, look at fucking Thragg's face, man. That last type of face you want to see chasing you like that.
death itself. So Thragg grabs Mark and starts giving him ferocious back shots. Then after he finished giving Mark back shots, he had him hoisted up and he was about to end this man's existence right here. But Nolan comes in and saves Mark at the last second. So after Mark got saved, Mark asked, "Dad, how do we beat him?" And Nolan looked back at his son and said, "Son, we're cooked."
But Nolan survived that.
Lord
Surprisingly.
have mercy, Thragg gave Nolan the Viltrums special technique. That is just flat out attempted murder. Then Thragg grabbed Mark by the neck again and gave him a headbutt that was probably heard around the cosmos. Then he started to squeeze his head, and he was going to crush Mark's head just like he did to Thetis. But at the last second, Thragg decides to stop because he realized that too much Viltrumite blood has been spilled. So he lets Mark off the hook and leaves him for dead
And
in
for the
space
plot.
with his father and his brother.
Yeah,
This
for
man
plot
Thragg
reasons.
shut those fraud allegations up real quick. Cause he
Yeah.
just straight up wiped the floor with everyone. Omni-Man got left with his guts hanging out. Mark got put into another coma, and Oliver had to get put in a Bacta tank with a new shiny mechanical jaw and a prosthetic arm to go with it.
Damn, which really sucked. That was Exhibit B. Let's see. Attempted murder on Oliver, attempted murder on Omni-Man, on Battle Beast, twice on Mark, child abuse on Oliver, and the murder of Thetis.
Exhibit C. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
we
boy,
have
here
reached
we
our
go.
third and final exhibit. Exhibit C. PTSD and holding Earth hostage. Now, after Thragg put belt to ass to the coalition and left the whole family for dead in space, Mark thought they were going to go to Earth and destroy everything. So when Mark finally recovered from the beating that Thragg gave him, it is revealed that Mark got his ass beat so bad, he got PTSD. But not just your regular PTSD. This nigga
What
Mark
type?
got specifically post-thragmatic stress disorder. Not gonna lie, I think we haven't seen a
I see
case
what
of
you did there.
PTSD this severe since Slade did this shit to Robin. Cause Mark was tweaking out so hard he was seeing things just like Robin was. So let's go through some of the examples real quick of how severe this actually was. Example 1. Mark finally comes back home to see his mother for the first time after the war. So this was supposed to be a heartwarming moment, but it goes south real quick. While Mark was talking to his mom, he looked away for like 1 second. And when he turned around again, he sees Debbie getting choked out by Thragg. And Thragg tells him, "This is the smallest repayment for what you did," and rips Debbie's head.
But that was actually an illusion.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
that wasn't
lie.
real.
This shit got me for a quick second. Cause this happened so fast it felt like a jump scare. Bro really thought for a second that he saw his mother get her head ripped off before he finally snapped back into reality. But this was only his first
psychological harm that
stress
Thragg did
disorder
to him.
episode. Because there were more to come. Example 2, Mark and Eve were having a very important conversation about how life's been for her since Mark left. And she was about to give him the whole lore dump of what all happened when he left. So right before she was about to tell Mark that she was pregnant, she gets her head snatched by Thragg. And Thragg starts to hold
Which
her
was also
up above
fake.
Mark and tells him, "You took away what I love. Now I'm taking what you love, little nigga." So he starts to gouge her eyes out and crush her face. Then her other eyeball ends up popping out of her head before he finally kills her in front of Mark. Then throws her lifeless body right back at him. This nigga Mark was going through hell. He was living a nightmare because he couldn't tell if this was real or not. Eve had to snap this man out of the genjutsu that he was stuck in because he was actually stun locked. Now, let's observe example 3. Mark is given the debrief to Cecil about the war and was low-key about to ask him for a therapist. Now, while their conversation continued, Mark closed his eyes, and the moment he looked back up,
sees Thragg again.
Giving Cecil the Viltrumite special move. And while he had his body lifted up, he told Mark, "Just to let you know, I'm still in your head, and not even therapy can repair the shit I did to you." Then he throws Cecil's lifeless body to the side like trash. And after this, Mark just started hyperventilating because he was having a panic attack mid-PTSD till Cecil finally calmed this nigga down and brought him back to reality.
Wow,
So after
3
Mark
times.
went through like 3 post-thragmatic stress disorder episodes, Mark decided to go on a flight to clear his head. And while he was out flying, he sees Thragg again. So Mark, thinking he's having another episode, closes his eyes and starts to think in his head, "This is not real, this nigga's not here. This is not real, this nigga's not here.
But he's real this time.
This is not real, this nigga's not here." So when Mark opens
But
up
he's real
his
this
eyes
time.
again, Thragg was still there. And he told him, "Yes, little nigga, we indeed are here." And this was when Mark finally realized that the Thragg standing in front of him was indeed the real Thragg. So Mark starts freaking out and begins to hit Thragg over and over again. But Thragg just took all of this with no reaction.
like nothing.
Then crawled to Mark's face and threw him back to where he started. Then Thragg told him, "Stop, little nigga. I didn't come here to fight. I came here to talk." So Thragg gives this man a little smile, then tells Mark, "Here's how this is about to go down, little nigga. You took our home, so now we're taking yours. So from this day forward, we, yes, we will be using Earth as a breeding ground to repopulate our forces and rebuild our empire. And don't worry, they've already started. Krieg done cracked like 6 of your Earth holes already. That one-eyed motherfucker's having the time of his life right now.
Of
and
course
Lucian
he
is
is.
already famous. He's been hosting this show called Family Feud under an alias named Steve Harvey or something.
I mean, he
shit.
does look like
But
a
that's
buff
besides
Steve
the
Harvey.
point. What you need to know is this, little nigga. You're going to let us coexist with you. And if you don't, we will rip this planet in half. Also, I will need to acquire the location of your planet's best barbers. Their services will be needed." So Mark has to agree because he basically has no choice. And Thragg officially takes the entire planet of Earth as hostage and turns it into a Viltrumite breeding farm.
Yeah. And just like that. The times 3 was Debbie, Eve, and Cecil, and then hostage taking Earth hostage. Yep. And that's only the beginning of Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, after observing all of this evidence and tallying up this long list of charges, this is a pass with flying colors. This man Thragg belongs in the elite category for menaces. He pulled off this list of charges in 3 episodes, gang. That is like
And keep in mind, we're not even completely done with Thragg's story yet either. Just wait until you see what we have later on. Anyone who hasn't read the comics, that is.
a new record for Charles or some shit. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, because the files on this man are going to continue over the years. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoy. And until our next trial that is coming up very soon.
Pain! I can't wait for Pain! Bet. Can't wait for Pain. But yeah, so that was Trial of Thragg. Come on, CJ, why'd you lie to us? I thought you said Pain was next, but we got Thragg first. Not that I'm complaining, but come on, I'm waiting on Pain! Just saying. Just saying. So yeah, that was the Trial of Thragg. Yeah, I wasn't surprised by that, but I'm just ashamed. If only we got to the full story. Well, but for 20.5 minutes, this was good, CJ. Really solid. Still can't believe a lot of people thought this man was a fraud. Oh, buddies. Y'all, how y'all could not have been more wrong. But I knew this because I know the whole story of Invincible, so. But in the meantime, we'll have to wait and see that twist later on when we find out Nolan and Mark are dethroned to Argyle. So, and then things get a lot more interesting from there. And it completely changes the whole shift of the entire Invincible series. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait a few years for that to occur, but we can wait. We can wait. But yeah, that was entertaining. You never feels to, you know, make me not laugh or giggle, CJ. I want to check out some of these comments real quick. Thragg traumatized Mark so badly he made Mark completely forget to tear Cecil a new one for letting Conquest escape Earth. So true. Cecil's dumbass helped him live. However strong you think you are, Thragg is stronger. True words, true words. Yeah. When Thragg was 18, his parent brought him cake, but he challenged him to a 2v1 to prove their worth. I ain't seen PTSD this bad since Robin was boxing with an imaginary slave, yeah. I don't know how the hell people actually needed more proof that Thragg was a real one. The moment I saw Conquest, the most feared Viltrums soldier of all of them, kneeling, making puppy eyes, and begging for the death in front of him, was all the evidence I needed. So true. So true. Oh, man. Now everyone knows. Evil fears a name. Freddie... No, not Freddie Mercury. Thragg. I mean, come on, he's Freddie Mercury. You can blame Comics Explained for that one, by the way. He got me calling him Freddie Mercury. A buff Freddie Mercury.